Okay, in a different part of the river today that I haven't hit in probably a couple years now, and I just took a few steps in and there's a bottle here. It looks like it could be an old one, so let's check it out. Oh, oh. Wow, that's all I got to say about that. I was here for not even 30 seconds, and this was right when I walked in. It's the Lawson Milk Company, full quart. Very nice. Hopefully this is a sign of how the day's gonna go. A couple bottles just laying here in the very shallow water. This looks like a ketchup bottle. What is this? Yep, that's gonna be probably a Heinz ketchup bottle, and a modern ACL with a barcode. There's a circular item here. Could be anything really. Oh, that's interesting. Looks like the base of something. Here's a bottle in the murky water. It looks like a modern beer, but you never can tell until you get them out. Yep, it's modern. This has the potential to be something nice. It looks like the top's chipped though. It is. What was this? We will never know. All kinds of creatures lurk in the Cuyahoga River. Well, I got that full quart in pristine condition. There was nothing else that I could see there. The area appeared to be sanded in. So I am back to my regular spot. Maybe I could find some marbles and who knows what. Here's a small cobalt blue right on the surface. Nothing special about it. Probably a Phillips milk of magnesia. This is interesting, but it looks like it's broken. It's a goblet of some sort. Don't know how old it is. If it's like most things around here, it might be over 100 years old. There's a Chevy key fob down here, and when I grab it, you'll see that I flinch a little bit. It's because something pinched. It didn't break my glove, but it startled me. And what that was is this. And what this is the rusted key ring with two very sharp points, which illustrates why we always wear gloves when you're doing any kind of treasure hunt in the river or on land, anywhere. Now that certainly doesn't look natural. That is an old metal mesh change purse. And I'll talk more about how old this is on the cleanup, but a very nice find. Northampton, full quart, broken. GoPro went on the fritz here, but what we have is a nice 400cc corktop medicine bottle. I thought this was nothing, and it most likely is. Little drinking glass. I'll have to see if I could identify it when we get back. This is an old restaurant dinnerware plate from around the 20s and 30s, and it has a very interesting company history, and we'll talk more about that at the end. Old glass bottle stopper. Okay, here's something in the bank. A couple things. Wonder if that's attached to this. Is that a trumpet? If that's a trumpet, that would be quite amazing. I have no idea what that is. Oh, there's some parts to it right there. Got to be very careful when we are recovering things out of the bank like this. In fact, maybe the best to undermine it. Let's see. Is that part of that? I hope not, because that's loose. And the odds are, whatever the heck this thing is, I'm going to break it because it looks very old. Or it could be a bunch of things. It could be part of a dump. Alright, let's take away the heavy material up top. It might be slightly easier to recover, whatever the heck this is. Oh, wait a minute, what have you got here? Okay, so this is what this is. Alright. Set up plate. Oh, for goodness sakes. Alright, there's a plastic bag around it, so that's not always a good sign. Okay. Okay. It is not a trumpet. It is. It could have been a trumpet. Or something, maybe a trombone. Alright, let's just set this to the side. See what the rest of this garbage is, and that's likely what it is. That is attached to that. Tree roots. Sorry for the shoddy camera work. What the heck is this thing? Huh. Whoa. I know exactly what that is. I think I know what that is. There's a little pin in the center there. This is probably an old candle holder. Or maybe you know what it is. Time to clean up, and we will start with this glass bottle stopper. I would guess this is the late 1800s to early 1900s for a glass bottle. Got the Chevy key fob for any number of Chevy vehicles. The buttons still click when you press it, but I doubt that would work. And of course, that had a couple keys sitting in close proximity to it that were certainly on that key fob. We have the candlestick holder. This is very unusual, and I don't know a whole lot about it. It came from an area of the river where I do find things in the 1800s or early 1900s. Little spiral metal design in one strap that goes up and around, so you can hold it here, and there's a little tiny pin in the base there where you would press the wax candle into. And was it before electricity? Probably. That's very interesting, and it has the finish on it is still mostly there and a little bit blistered on the bottom. If any of you could help me with dating this, and it might be from IKEA from a couple years ago, but I doubt it because it was wrapped around a bunch of other garbage and things that are from an older time. So, but if you know, let me know. about that. Then we have this. This is the bell of a trombone. Looks like it's made out of copper. Copper and brass are very closely related. I think that copper instruments maybe have like a deeper tone to them or something like that, but it looks like it was plated with silver at one time as well. So that's certainly a part to an instrument, most likely a trumpet. An Anchor Hawkins cup, and Anchor Hawkins started in 1937. That's probably one of their earlier pieces there. And we got the Lawson Milk Company. Check this out. A full quart. And I got a story about the Lawson Milk Company. So Lawson Milk Company started in 1939 in Cuyahoga Falls. And in the 1980s, they changed over to Dairy Mart stores. Some of you probably have those in your area. So all the Lawson Milks, they changed over to Dairy Mart stores. In 2000, it changed again, and Lawson Milk Company became Circle K, Dairy Mart then changed again and became Circle K. So that's right, every Circle K that you see started out in the origin with Lawson Milk Company. And what's even more interesting about this company is overseas, I think it was, somewhere around 1975, the Lawson Milk Company partnered with a Japanese supermarket chain, and to this day, or at least in 2018 from what I read, 11,384 Lawson Milk Companies are over there in Japan. They're also found in China, Indonesia, South Korea, Thailand, and the Philippines. So it really took off over there in Asia. And this little bottle right here that looks slug plated, that's when you would go with a milk container or glass jar company that already has generic bottles that would say 1 quart liquid and registered however you want. And then in the mold, they would swap out with whatever, like a little metal plate that would emboss the name of the specific dairy that company was making the bottles for. So this looks slug plated, which is interesting. And this could be one of the first Lawson Milk Company full quart bottles. One of the ones that started it all, at least changing all the way up into our Circle K, and now being all over Japan, all over China, and most of that region of the world. So a nice little piece of history with this pristine Lawson Milk full quart. Then we have this plate right here. Everything has a story, of course. This plate, when we flip it around, it has all kinds of information on the back. It says vitrified Jack Tan, I could be pronouncing it wrong, Jackson, China, made in the USA. So this company started in 1916. And this one here was likely made probably in the 20s to the mid-30s, and Jackson really specialized in restaurant dinnerware and stuff, diners and that kind of thing. But looking into the history of this, and I'm not going to get into it because it's a very long story, this company was plagued in the 20s with scandal, with a double murder suicide with the people that were running the company and everything, that really made the company take a hit. If you want to look that up, there's plenty of information. But that's what this is. Yeah, you get it out of the river, it's all covered, you can't see anything, you start to clean things up, and then you find the little fine details that give you insight into the history. So, let's see. A couple more things. Here's a 400cc glass medicine bottle that's embossed with the units of measurement. And like anything, when you do this for a while, you start finding a bunch of bottles that go with it. So I have this one, just about every size of this specific bottle. And this isn't even all the corktop meds that I have. I certainly have a lot. Some of these are blown in a mold, others are machine made, depending on, you know, where the mold seam is on it. But you get a nice little examples of different units of this. And these bottles range between like maybe 1890 and 1910, somewhere right around there. So I was glad to find this. This was the biggest particular type of this corktop med that I've ever found. And then lastly, I have this Victorian era change purse, and it's very delicate. And maybe you could see the detail in the meshing there. And it has these little metal, they look like jingle bells on the bottom of this, and a lot of ornate detail. And the snap unfortunately broke off on the top, but you'll have that as I had to transport it out of the river. But mostly everything is here. That detail is fantastic, and this would have snapped together and been a change purse. So Victorian era, everything that I see tells me this is Victorian era. So what is that? That's when Queen Victoria was reigning. So 1837 to 1901. I think this would be on the later half of that, given you know, where it was in the river. So probably maybe again like the 1890 to 1910 region. But always nice to find something like this, and maybe I could get those little loops back on there and reassemble it. Some of the stuff has come loose. So that's it. A nice productive little hunt, and I can't wait until the next one. And until then, happy hunting, everybody.